Hello everybody, welcome to BHP headquarters again. This morning I want to talk about specialty tools and installing the crankshaft and putting the cases together. What you see here in front of you is my homemade left-hand crank tool. You don't have to be specific with this stuff. You don't have to go out and buy a $100 tool. If you've got the capability, a little bit of extra materials hanging around, you can make this stuff to work. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to function. I guess I'd call myself a little bit of a pack rat over the years. My wife would probably agree with that, but I used an old 7/16 car lug nut, and just it taps beautifully to the 12 by 150 for the flywheel nut. Added a couple of washers to it, piece of all thread, welded one nut on one end, one nut on the other end with a couple of washers for support, and then I took a piece of tubing, just used an old crank bearing, welded a couple washers to it, piece of tubing to it so that it just sits right in there pretty as you please, and then screw the end on there, snug it up, hold the end nut there, run that one down, and it'll pull the crank in nice and pretty. So it works wonderful. It also, turns so that once it gets pressure on it, it'll actually start turning the bearing and reduce the pressure on the washers themselves. Okay, that's that one. Now, when it comes time to doing the right hand case, you get everything loaded in your left hand case, transmission, gasket, everything. There again, I just got ingenious. I use an old bearing. It fits beautifully on the case half. Now, I have a washer that has actually got a little bevel on there. Where did it come from? Heck if I know. I've had some of this stuff for 15-20 years and just never throw it away. But it fits on there like so. And then a 10 by 125 bolt that I have threaded longer. And I use this little concave washer so that it centers up. And basically the same thing. Screw the bolt on there, tighten it up, and then just hold the head, run the bolt down, and it basically pulls on the crank and pushes the right hand case half down. There again, doesn't have to be fancy, folks. It just has to work. I'll generally leave this one on there once I pull the cases together until I flip it around, put the bolts in on the other side of the case. I torque all the small 6mm by 1.0 to 90 inch-pounds. I know some people do a hair more, a hair less. As long as you're in that range, you're good. But there again, just get creative with your tools. Like I said, they don't have to look pretty, they just have to function. And function over looks is by far more important in my book than anything else. So hope this helps you, and just use your imagination and a little common sense. That'll take you a long ways. I know Dave Moore's like myself. He likes to make tools. So just get after it. Remember, if you screw up, you ain't lost nothing. Trash it, build you another one. I mean, that's the good thing about people that like to do this for themselves. Just get after it. Thanks for watching.